Felix, how's it going today?
Very well, thanks. How about yourself?
I am excellent. It's an honor to be speaking with you today.
Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
Well, first, you're recently reunited with Gene Cornish, touring again as the Rascals. Can you tell the listeners a bit about that and the upcoming tour here?
Well, yes. Last year, I did a tour of Hawaii, and the Rascals were huge in Hawaii. And I had a number of the people ask me, can you guys come back one more time? And I said, what a great idea. Why not? Here we are, we're kind of like in the twilight of our careers. Let's do it. So I called up the guys. I called up Eddie. He said he was tied up doing something with Steve Van Zandt. I spoke to Gene. He was gung-ho, let's go. Spoke to Dino. He said he's really spending his time as a painter and hasn't been playing drums. So the two of us decided to go and bring in Carmine Appice from Vanilla Fudge. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys got Carmine. We've had him on the show before. He's definitely seen just about as much as you guys have over the years. Oh, yeah.
He's from the old school.
Well, what are the listeners in for with the new tour here? I know the three of you have quite the catalog of songs that you could choose from, so I imagine you could do a 5-hour show if you wanted to.
Well, it will be mostly my songs, mostly Rascal music. We're just incorporating Carmine's drumming ability into it, and we've got some people from New York to kind of enhance the vocals and just make it like a real good kind of fat show. And basically, what I try to do, when I work either with this band or with my own band, is to reproduce the kind of atmosphere, for want of a better word, of the '60s. We didn't have the internet in our days. We didn't have all the iPhones and Instagrams and Facebooks. Our audiences primarily communicated through each other's music. They listened to what was going on as sort of like a news program with, Paul McCartney falling in love, or John Sebastian, being a father, stuff like that. We knew it from our songs. And that's what I try to do. I try to create, that atmosphere where people, can kind of sing along, and just enjoy that sort of like unitedness, for want of a better word.
Awesome. Yeah, it's amazing the career you've had, Felix. Playing with the Starlighters and, of course, the Rascals. And, it's interesting to think, you could have been a classic pianist or maybe a doctor like your parents.
Well, that's really interesting because, as a matter of fact, next Friday I'm going to be doing the Nashville Symphony with my music, and I'm really looking forward to that because, as you said, that's how I started, and I just ran into a little difficulty with classical because I really couldn't change anything that was already written hundreds of years ago, and that's really what kind of deterred me from staying there. I wanted to create. So going backwards, so to speak, and having an orchestra behind me, I'm really very excited about it.
Excellent. Yeah, it's amazing. Any bands out there would give anything to have a big hit, and you guys had a whole slew of them just within a couple of years. Definitely was a pretty crazy time for you back then in the late '60s.
Oh, it was a lot of fun too. It was really a lot of fun, and the competition was really, really unique. And I think that that made you have to rise up to the occasion.
Yeah, I guess the atmosphere in the country around that time, in the late '60s, a lot of turmoil, and with songs like "People Gotta Be Free," you really became one of the voices of that generation.
Well, we were very involved. I particularly was very involved in kind of what was going on in the the kind of social consciousness of things, like as far as civil rights and as far as politically, just kind of being involved somewhere, rather than, kind of like oblivious to the whole darn thing. I never really felt that, you would alienate people by taking, a particular point of view. As today, I think you do alienate people when you take a point of view, which is kind of sad in a way.
Well, with that being said, after 50 plus years, the music you guys did at that time, it still fits, with today's generations. It doesn't seem dated at all. People still discovering it, and it seems just as fresh as it was back then.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's a real compliment. And, I just know that, making that music was a joy. There's no question about it. And I think that's kind of what that permeates the airwaves when you feel that joy coming out.
Well, Felix, you mentioned being excited about playing with the orchestra, and I know you're in the Rock Hall of Fame, the Grammy, the songwriters, vocal groups, even the Hammond Hall of Fame. I mean, what's left for you? It seems like with those credentials, you've done just about everything you can.
Well, that's the beauty of music is that, like you always can reach out to something that's a little different, and a little bit more unique. I mean, the new music that's out there, it's pretty much computer based, and I like to take what I do and kind of marry it to the computer world and see what happens. So I get a chance to write with a lot of younger artists that are more well versed into the computer techniques. But there's always something new. I'm doing a book which should be out within 6 months, I hope. And I've got the symphony and we got this tour, and it just feels good to really to be alive and to keep creating.
Yeah, you definitely have to kind of roll with the punches, and as you mentioned, kind of adapt to the way things are. Obviously, you've seen all the big changes in the music business over the years. Is there anyone on the scene now, I guess, that impresses you, or maybe you're hoping to maybe collaborate with at some time?
Well, I mean, there's so many. I mean, my goodness, this Bruno Mars is amazing, and then the past tense, Justin Timberlake. He moved to Nashville, where I live now. It's just great to see some of the people that are out there. Now, I do pay attention a lot to world music from other countries. I kind of like it's a little bit more fresh, and not, it's kind of, our country used to have diverse music cities. And, like, for example, if you went to Los Angeles, you had a Los Angeles sound, or a New York sound, or a Midwestern sound, or a New Orleans sound. Now we're all the same. I mean, we all play the same music all around the United States on radio and the satellite. So I go elsewhere to find out, find out what people are thinking musically. That it's a little different,
Yeah, definitely. Well, again, Felix, I know the tour going on now, and you mentioned the book and working with the orchestra. Is there anything else maybe coming up, or something else we should look out for?
Well, I'll keep you posted. That's for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Again, Felix, I'm a huge fan, and it's been an honor speaking with you today. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. I hope to see you soon.
All right, I hope so too. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thanks. See you.